I want to talk about depression and suicide. It's a very hot button issue, and everybody has their, own opinions on it. Now, I'm not going to get into assisted suicide or anything like that. I have my own personal opinions on that, but they're irrelevant to this video. What I want to talk about most is depression and how we all in turn, deal with it. And in this day and age, all you have to do is you just turn on the news, turn on the TV, turn on YouTube, watch these videos, and you'll see that our society at large has adopted a system of belief that, you smile enough and everything's going to be okay. Everything's just flowers and rainbows. It's, all happy. And sometimes it's fucking sickening. It's disgusting. It's positive and it's optimistic, and I get that, but yeah, if I had to classify myself, I'm a pessimistic realist. I've always believed that, if I prepare for the worst, regardless of what situation I'm preparing for, and I get anything other than the worst, then you know what, it's a good day, and it works for me. But everyone in general, it's all this love and acceptance and, hug your neighbor and accept everybody, and frankly, that's all bullshit. It doesn't work. It's not how we're wired. It's not how we're programmed. You're arguing against biology. You're arguing against science. And yeah, you want to go through life with a positive outlook. You want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to, immediately act upon your judgments. And I'll talk about that in a different video because, people say don't judge. Well, that's bullshit too. But like I said, I'll talk about that in a different video. Thing is, it's harder than that. You can't just heart your way out. And, this shit, it's not that simple because, suicide rates are still increasing. People are still depressed, more so now than at any other point in time recorded. Now, I don't want to just dwell on that, on the problem. I have plenty of personal experience with depression due to just things I've been through in my life, things I've had to overcome, things I've had to get around, and things I still haven't, put behind me, things I still deal with on a daily basis that I just haven't, I haven't reached that, I haven't hurdled that yet, it just hasn't happened. I'm working on it, but it's just not there. Fact is, right now, I think a big part of the problem is that we rely on medication, way too much. I was lucky enough, a little over a year ago, to inherit a pre-made family. So now I have a 4-year-old boy, and it's great. But due to, a series of events, they're telling me that, he's hyperactive and it's ADHD and he needs to be on this medication and that medication. I'm only 27 years old, but when I was a kid, I was the same way. You couldn't get me to sit still. And the medication I got was, slapped upside the head, said, hey, pay the fuck attention. And it worked. I graduated high school. I actively made the decision not to go to college. It turned out fine. I have a great job. I own my own small business. I'm a private LLC. I contract out of a major company. I install doors and windows for a living. That's what I do. I work on my own. I'm 27 years old. A lot of the guys that I graduated with now are in prison or dead or serving tables. And when it comes to depression, everyone I talk to, they're on this medication or that medication, this antidepressant, that antidepressant, and it's fucking sad. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Because I've seen way too many of my friends, start relying on that shit way too much. And they have this mindset that, well, this is going to cure me. This is going to fix it. And yeah, I understand there are medical conditions where, shit's not right upstairs. And, you have to be on medication to fix that. Or, you have to do this therapy or that therapy. And, it legitimately fixes whatever the fucking issue is. But a lot of times life just sucks. Now the short end of it is get the fuck over it. Now that sounds real callous, and I realize I just pissed a lot of people off, but hear me out. That pill isn't going to fix shit. What that pill is going to do is it's going to take you off peak. It's going to take that pain you're feeling and it's going to cut off the peak of it. It's going to make it just a little bit better. And that little bit's going to feel, immensely better than what you're going through right now. It's going to feel like a, brand new fucking life. It's going to be amazing until it's not. Because that day is going to come. It's going to not feel good anymore. It's not going to work quite as well. And, if you have enough willpower, you go to your doctors, you go, hey, this shit's not working. They're going to give you something else, prescribe you a different medication, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? For some people, that's fine. Some people are in a situation where they can do that, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people, especially now, with the economy and just with life the way it is, you're working a 9 to 5, just a couple dollars over minimum wage in a job that you've put the last 6 years of your life to and you can barely afford to pay rent. You're busting your ass to progress in the management, this, that, or the other, and it's just not working. I mean, good, stay on that grind, but, I've seen a lot of guys and women too, they'll graduate from that and they'll find another fix. They'll find something else to, throw down the hatch or stick into their arm, drop into a foil. And a lot of those people are dead now. And it sucks. And you have all these people, spitting off as to why and how to fix it. And I haven't heard a single point of view that I really believe can work, 100% of the time. I'm sure mine can't either. I'm not perfect, believe me. But the thing is, for me, that type of shit doesn't work. It doesn't make me feel any better. It never has. I've experimented with it before. And to say experiment, meaning to say, I didn't have a fucking prescription for it. Thing is, I found what works for me. And that's what I want to, share with you now. Because I don't want to just make a depressing ass video bitching about a problem without, trying to pose a solution. But my solution, it's kind of fucked up. A little bit. You see, every therapist I've ever gone to told me that I was angry. In many other words, they would tell me that I needed to find joy in my life and I needed to find happiness. And to a degree, that furthered, my problem. Because I would, I'd take the advice and I'd try to be happy. I'd try to find joy. I'd try to find that thing that makes me smile. And, I succeeded a lot of times, and a lot of times I didn't. And when I didn't, it made me feel that I was fucking broken. And then I just get pissed. I get mad. I get so fucking mad. When I was 17 years old, I was trying to go out and get a new vehicle. And my dad was like, well, we have that old truck in the backyard. I'll help you fix it. You buy the parts and I'll help you, put it all together. I'm like, all right. So we did that. And later on, he told me the main reason that he had pushed me to get that truck is because it was all busted up. And at the time, I had a problem with punching things. You know, I was always terrified of going to jail, so I'd avert my anger to the degree that I wouldn't hit the person pissing me off. I'd go out and I'd punch the shit out of my fucking vehicle. Which, yeah, I laugh. It sounds stupid now, but it kept me out of prison, so. But either way, that was why he bought, or we didn't buy the truck, but why he helped me fix up that truck. And by the time I retired that truck was fucked up. It ran like a charm, but it did not look pretty. I just had a lot of shit going on in my life and couldn't get by it. And then a few years ago, when I was at not my lowest point, but a pretty low point, I realized that everything I'd been told was bullshit. You know, all these therapists, all this feel-good shit, it was all bullshit. Or at least for me. Maybe it works for some people, but it sure as fuck didn't work for me. And, you know, through some of the books I read, and some things that I watched and I listened to, I started putting things together in my head, and I had this epiphany, and I realized that we're all fueled by something. All right. A lot of people, the happy stories you see on YouTube and the happy stories you see on the net, usually they're fueled by their passion. You know, they say, well, I have a passion. I just went after it, and you know, I kept on busting. Now I'm here, and, you know, I'm going to spread all this joy, and, you know, you can do it too. But I started thinking, you know, I can't do that. I realized that I have to find something that drives me. And I thought that was supposed to be, you know, a passion or something that I found that I could latch on to, you know, push me through that blockade, you know, get me to a better place. Because that's, you know, that's what I witnessed, that's what I saw everywhere, that's what I was told. But, you know, there's a lot of things that I've fallen in love with growing up, and, you know, things that I could have turned into a passion, but, you know, they always lost that spark. I mean, a lot of them I still even enjoy, I still do, but they weren't there. It wasn't enough of a drive, and it never helped. I was still, you know, pissed off all the time. I was still depressed. I was still upset. And I had to figure something out. And what I figured out was I had to fuel. I had to fuel myself. And I mean, that sounds simple, but it wasn't. It was after I figured it out, but figuring it out, it took me a long, long time. And I decided that the only emotion I had an abundance of that could propel me to wherever I wanted to be in life was anger. What I found that worked for me, and it worked real well, was I just let myself get pissed off. But I stopped letting myself act on it. What I mean is, I didn't punch that truck anymore. I didn't, you know, lose my shit. I didn't freak out. I just fucking sucked it up. Just ate it. And that sounds real hard. I know you're sitting there. I mean, if you're having the same issues, you're just like, I can't. You know, it's just not something I can do. You can't do it because you don't want to do it. You don't see any purpose for it. When there's a purpose behind it, believe me, it's a lot fucking easier. A lot easier. But I sucked up that anger. I allowed myself to get mad. And I turned it into a propellant. I let it fuel me. You know, we're engines. That's all we are, all right? Somewhere up here, we exist, and this, the rest of it, you know, that's our mud truck. That's our sports car. It's your Lamborghini. It's your fucking, you know, Camaro, your Mustang. It's your F-350. It's your fucking motor. That anger, that's the fucking propellant. All right? Let that anger take a hold of you. All right? Do not let go of it. And don't unleash it. Because if you do, you're going to hurt people. It's a risk. It's a fucking gamble, and you got to be strong enough, all right? Do not fucking unleash that shit on your girlfriend or your wife or your kid or your parents. Don't. You'll never get over it. You'll never get by that. Don't allow that to happen. Make that decision right now, because once you make that decision, the decision is finalized. You can't fuck up. You made the decision. Don't allow yourself to fuck up. Don't. But use that anger. Let it motivate you. Take it and get pissed off at whatever you're doing. Just get fucking mad and do it better. Do it more. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're fucking 400 pounds and you've been fat your entire goddamn life and you don't want to be fat anymore, and you've tried every fucking diet on the planet, and you've watched all these fucking positivity videos telling you can do it, and you've gotten fucking just pretty much killed yourself attempting to get to that place you want to be, but it doesn't work, and you fall into that depression. Take that depression, turn it into fucking anger. Every negative emotion is linked to anger. If you're sad, fuck sad, get angry. If you're depressed, fuck being depressed, get angry. If you're anxious, fuck being anxious, get angry, get pissed off. Allow yourself to get mad. Just fucking do it. It's easy. And you let that anger drive you. And you start to bleed, and you keep on pushing, and you fucking make yourself go to the gym because you're mad. You're fucking pissed off. You make yourself, start eating right. You make yourself walk every night before bed. Even if it's just around the block, you force yourself to do it. If you're anxious, you don't like people, you don't like being around people, you just get mad at yourself. You get pissed off. And you take that anger and you just force yourself to communicate with people. And I realize that a lot of you are going to say, well, you just make it, that sounds too simple. It doesn't work like that, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what you're talking about. But that's the thing. I do. I know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's a hurdle. And right now it feels like it's impossible to leap that hurdle. It's possible to get over that fucking bar. But once you're there, once you do it for the first time, the second time's easier. Third time, fourth time, 100th time, it gets easier. Because that depression, the bottom line, the whole first half of this fucking video, thing is, the pills will never make it go away. It's always going to be there. You have to get stronger. That's what has to happen. You have to get stronger. And whatever you do, you have the ability to get stronger. My way of getting stronger was using every negative emotion I carried with me, sucking it the fuck up. It's like crude oil. Anxiety, all of it. It's just crude oil. Anger is the fuel. Take that crude oil, distill it, whatever you need to fucking do. I don't actually know the process to making crude oil into fuel, but do that. Turn it into anger. Let it drive you. Bust ass. Achieve what you want to achieve. And get through it. And when it comes to the point where you can't go on, you can. And when it gets to the point where you're going to give up, you're not going to. You're going to get pissed off. You're going to get fucking mad. And you'll achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's stupidly simple. It's really just, it's dumb. But you could spend another couple $1,000s on therapy, $100 on medication, waste another couple years of your life, or you could try it. And what do you lose? If it doesn't work, some time, that's it. Just try it.